Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Terry, and today we're going to make applesauce. Hopefully get it canned today as well, besides just making it. We have a lot of apples that have come off our tree. They're not usually very sweet until the first really cold, frosty nights, and that's happened now. But in the meantime, a lot of the wind has taken them down, and I've been gathering them, and we've been so busy trying to get that new cover on the greenhouse that, hey sweetie, that we haven't we did make a batch of applesauce a few weeks ago. Allan and Alanna are my chief peelers over there. So we're gonna work on that today. Where is Alanna? She was just right here. Come on in here. So say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so we're gonna get busy. Allan suggested today would be a good day to get this applesauce, more of it made. And it's kind of rainy out, and our little brother's gone down for a nap. So we're gonna work on getting this applesauce made, aren't we? So let's get started. Let's get our aprons.
There's Grandpa.
There's Grandpa peeling. Here he is. No, it's not working very good. He looks a little frustrated with it. Okay, let's go get busy.
Too?
Yes, he does want you to help.
Good job.
This one worked too.
Yep. Yeah, just the bigger, softer ones that we're gonna have a problem with.
These ones big.
It seems to me that one was rotten in the middle, but fell out there. See that?
Oh.
Well, that fell off too.
Okay.
So.
Here we go, my chief apple peelers.
Yep. So this thing is probably like.
Good job.
So this cuts right here, and
Then,
this thing comes off.
look at that, eh?
Then you can just
Core comes
put
out.
these in here. You can just put these in this bowl.
And then it's all sliced.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, we've got a lot to go, so I'll stop recording now and I'll get busy and start cleaning those up and chopping them into the pot so we can start making the applesauce.
Oh, that one's a bit. Yeah.
I like using my big, heavy, old canner and just a little wee bit of water in there to start making this applesauce.
Yep. This.
All right, these guys got way ahead of me here. There's a huge bowl of apples that need to be cleaned up and chopped up, and that's my waste from doing that. And then I have a bowl full over here that I've cut up into smaller pieces. I'm gonna drain them out of this salted water that I put them in so they don't brown any farther. And I'm gonna get them into this pot. And then we will see they've gone through that big bowl of apples, grinding them up. And then we'll see how full this pot gets, eh? And see if you and Grandpa need to keep grinding.
You can tell if these apples are ripe. If they're kind of like soft, then they're not really ripe. They're nice and hard, then
they peel.
You can tell that they're really gonna be.
They're better to peel when they're harder, aren't they? They peel better. I really love your tattoos. That's quite an armload of those you have. But you haven't tried to wash them off yet, have you? So for all you know, they could last a long time. That's quite
Forever.
There forever, maybe. Okay, let's get back to getting these and start making them heated up and making into applesauce. So there, Missy. Hello. So that's where she's been up there stirring the applesauce for me. And when she gets tired, she has a little bed laid down here on the floor so she can rest her arms. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's mostly just for taking a break.
For taking breaks. Are you allowed breaks?
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, okay. Must be in the union agreement we have with you, I guess. But the applesauce is coming along. She's been stirring it diligently. And I'm still working on cleaning up these other ones. And then I think I'm going to have to get Grandpa to come back and make some more because, doesn't make a very big pot full even with all those apples, does it? No? Okay, we'll keep working. All right. That was about 36 to 40 apples. Only made the pot, well, it's over half full. So we're going to do about another 15 or 20 Of course, these ones might have had a bit more waste. We hate to not get these apples used. Of course, they're all the ones that fell on the ground, so they were bruised, so we had to cut the bruising out. Right, Missy? Are you back to stirring? Great. And so we're going to go out and get some that are more recently fallen off the tree now. And get those cut up. And then we got to get moving because Grandpa wants chili, so we got to make a big pot of chili as soon as this is done. So let's go find those other apples. Which ones were the most recent? I'm not even sure. Maybe the ones in the green pot. There's a few more still left out there on the tree. And there's some that have fallen that need to be picked up. But we'll do that tomorrow when it's not raining. All right, we're all cleaned up. All the apple peeler stuff is put away. There's about 50 apples in there. Doesn't make a lot when you start cooking them all down. So we're gonna let that cook for a while. Her little brother is now up from his nap. So we're gonna just let these cook, and the dishwasher's running with the jars, and we'll see how long it takes to cook them down to the consistency that we want for the applesauce before we get to can them.
That looks good.
Okay, this applesauce has been simmering now for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. Oh, he's gonna walk away, is he? He's up from his nap.
I think he's standing right there.
He's standing right there, yes,
Yeah,
he is.
he's just gonna go like, oh, I'm just
What
gonna
are you
hang
gonna do
out
when
here,
I turn
guys.
on this hand blender? So there are a couple of different ways. Some people might like chunky applesauce. It takes quite a while to get it to smooth. I actually have a sieve that really makes it like baby food applesauce, but we don't like it that way. I kind of like it a bit chunkier. I could use a mixer and mix it to break it up, but you know what? This works pretty good, actually. I'm thinking it might be safer for you to sit a little ways away while I do this, eh? In case anything hot spits. Okay, here we go. Another thing to mention before I can this applesauce, we don't spray our trees with anything, so they're really quite organic. And consequently, when I can the applesauce, I'm not adding any sugar. It's just going to be pure applesauce, so that when I add it to recipes and make, say, an applesauce cake, it's not already sweetened applesauce. And I'll actually put the label on the jars when I can them after that says applesauce and no sugar. Sometimes I have added sugar when I'm going to be using that applesauce for dinner, turkey dinner, cranberries, applesauce, whatever. It's okay if it's a bit sweetened. But when I'm going to can these ones for baking for later, I'll not add any sugar. And if I do want sugar, when I do open those cans, or jars, sorry, then I will add the sugar. So, buddy, what are you doing? Getting all my racks out of the cupboard. My goodness. Okay, we'll move along and I'll keep blending this up, trying to smooth it out a bit. Okay.
Taste test.
Taste test. Okay, we're going to do a little taste test. I'm just going to take a little scoop out of here, right? Probably hot. Not bad. Is it? Oh, bud.
There we go.
Leave Grandma's cupboards alone. Leave the cupboards alone. Go play with the toys. Look at all the toys over there. And it falls off the mat. What do you think?
Buddy always doesn't listen.
Doesn't he? He's listening pretty good. He's laying here
Yeah.
on the rubbery mat, which is tippy when you step off it. Okay, what do you think? Are we double dipping tasting? What do you think?
Oh, buddy, stop wiggling my chair.
It's okay. So what do you think? What do you think about the taste of it? Okay, no sugar. It's good with no sugar, right? Okay, good. Okay, that's about as smooth as I want to get it. There's hardly a chunk left in there. It's perfect. So I'm just going to move that and keep it hot until I can get the jars. And get some water boiling in that canner. Okay, do you want to come up and see Grandma? Okay. You want to look in here and see what the applesauce looks like?
Taste test is good.
Yes. Okay, what do you think? If there's applesauce left over that doesn't get canned, you can have it. Okay? All right. Okay. See, it looks good.
Like,
Okay. I'll put it over the heat. Keep it warm.
look at all this baking stuff.
The applesauce is heated back up nicely. The lids I've got them in the hot water, getting that rubber just a little bit soft. I know they say that you don't have to do that anymore, but I still do that. And I have the jars in the oven, hot. I don't think I'm going to use all 7 or 8 jars that go in this canner. Maybe we'll make 5 pints. So, and it says to do it in the boiling water bath for 25 minutes. So I'm going to get busy and get some of those hot jars out and start putting this applesauce into them. Okay, here we go. It says 1/2 inch, and I find that to be just about the bottom of the ring. Let's see how that is. That's perfect. Grandpa's babysitting a little guy who's watching his sister play with some of the neighbor kids out there on their bikes. Okay, how are we doing? So that's 2 of them, and right to the bottom of there, right to where this ring is on these jars. That's 2, and I'm going to stop for just a minute. I'm going to put the lids on there. Lids on, and they're absolutely clean. Nothing spilt on there. 1, 2, and I forgot to get my thing to drop them into the hot water, so I'll go get that and be right back. All right, just gonna take this. Spin this. I like to make sure it's nice and smoothly and just tight. Move. This. Okay. That's good. I'm going to take this like this, nice and tight, and lift them up and drop them into the water bath over there, which I'll show you in just a minute. Because it didn't actually fill the jars over the top, just now dropping in, I've got some boiling water here to add extra. There we go. That made it perfectly over the top of those, and I'll just get busy and fill up these last couple of jars and get them in there and see how many we end up with. 5 or 6 maybe. All right, I've got probably just about a jar left there, but Alanna helps so much that I'm going to send a jar home with her that hasn't been canned. There's 5 in there, and now we're just going to get it boiling and start timing 25 minutes. All right, it's been 25 minutes with this applesauce. We'll just take these jars out, put them over onto here. Okay, we'll lift all those out carefully and let them cool and see how many of them ping and seal. That's always, I've had pretty good success all summer. I think I've had 100% sealing and everything that we've done. So let's hope for the best with these applesauces too. Well, it's the end of the day. The grandkids have all gone home. The jars of applesauce have cooled down enough that I have now labeled them with the sticker applesauce and no sugar, dated today, October the 17th, 2021. We got 5 pints that I canned. I sent home 1 pint with Alanna for all her help, and a little bit left in the fridge. So anyways, that's about it. It's kind of interesting to note that, you know, we've lived in this house for 40 years, and many years ago, over 20, my grandmother used to come over from Vancouver every fall and use the apples from this same tree and make apple strudel. And that's actually one of the reasons I started doing these videos, that the grandkids would be able to watch in the future, because it's really too bad that all those years ago, we didn't have YouTube and we didn't have really good recording equipment, because she used to come over and she would make the most delicious apple strudel. She would stretch out the dough on one of my floured tablecloths. She would make big hoop rings of the strudel. It was delicious. We used to cut up chunks and freeze them for later in the winter. And I always regret that I never paid a lot of attention when she was doing that, and that somehow I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe I could go on YouTube and watch somebody else do a video of making apple strudel. But anyways, that was really the reason that I started doing these videos back in January, when we were all shut down because of COVID. So anyways, I could say I'm making this applesauce today in memory of my grandmother, actually, and all the years she spent making apple strudel for us off of the same apples from these trees. So anyways, I want to say goodnight. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed watching us make applesauce. And you guys take care and stay safe.